much. Thanks everyone for joining us on the call today. Really excited to talk you through this product update because, speaking to clients every day, this is something I know many people are excited about. I myself, I'm excited about it. I've just had the chance to play around with it and it's really cool, really cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen now just to talk you through, the idea behind it so you can get a feel for it and maybe even start thinking from that perspective, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, so let me share my screen. There we go. I'm going to make this full screen. So can everyone see this?
Yes.
Perfect, excellent. So yeah, this is just the playbook on the QuickBooks integration. So the reason why we've been able to update this is just to make your life easier. The focus for us, for Procurement Express, is to streamline your overall purchasing process. And this is part of that streamlining. If you look on the slide now, what we've been able to do now is we've been able to enable you to sync QuickBooks. So you effortlessly able to sync your purchase order with QuickBooks. We have the payment loop, which enables you to actually mark items as paid on QuickBooks and automatically update that on Procurement Express. You have the option to have a quick view so you can actually see the data, see what's actually updated on QuickBooks and on Procurement Express. At the same time, you can actually view your purchase order side to side with your invoice and see what's updated from that perspective. And again, we also looked at it from a confidential perspective. In some scenarios, yes, you have the QuickBooks, which is taken care of by your accountants team, but you don't necessarily want everyone in your organization to be able to have visibility on what's taking place in the back end. So for that reason, we enable your accounting team to update things from QuickBooks and automatically sync that information, the relevant information from that they want visible to you on Procurement Express. So that's what we're thinking about. And if you also think about it from this perspective, people like myself, I would much rather have a simple, straight up screen that tells me, okay, this is what I'm doing. It's easy, it's 2 or 3 items, I understand it, rather than a complicated accounting system. So that's why the integration is taking place. So again, this is what we mentioned. You can see the quick sync. You can see what's happened on QuickBooks in comparison to what's happening in Procurement Express. So that's just a quick high-level overview. What I'll do now is actually show you how it looks and what it looks like. So from my side here, you can see I have the dashboard. This is the dashboard that we've all come to know and love. The dashboard here really gives you a high-level overview of what's happening and taking place in Procurement Express, so you can see everything there. And then also what I have here is my QuickBooks. And it's just the same way you would have with your QuickBooks. And if you're wondering, how do we set up our QuickBooks and get the integration sorted out? Not to worry, we've got a great support team. You can reach out to them anytime and they're able to talk you through how you get that set up. So I have my QuickBooks here. I have my Procurement Express software here. I'm going to go straight in and make a request. So I select the department that I'm part of. And if you look closely, you'll be able to see on my department, I have the option to select my supplier. So I'm just going to select the supplier at random. But you can see closely there, I have 2 budgets associated to this particular department. What we've done here with Procurement Express is we've actually synced the budget with particular accounts on your QuickBooks. Meaning, for example, let's say we didn't sync it. An individual will have to come in here and select through the millions of different accounts. And if that's the case, you can very easily make a mistake. But with the way we've done this synchronization, so let me just select an account. So let's say IT equipment. You can see straight away the account here is automatically selected for you. If I was to change this up and select office supply, you can see again, it just selects accounts for you. So then you know straight away, this request that I'm selecting with this budget is going to affect this particular account in a certain way. So that's pretty cool. It saves you time. When making requests, you don't have to worry about making any mistakes like that. So I'm just going to type in copy paper. The system is smart enough to remember what I've done in the past, so it does that for me. So it tells me, okay, copy paper unit price is usually 10. And then I'm going to add another one. So I'm going to add another one. I'm going to say, I want a desk. Again, it changes the price up for me, lets me know a desk is 50. I want one of each. I'm happy with that. And you can see it automatically selects the accounts for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send this through to approval. If you have approval routes, then different members of the team will approve it. Like in this case, Bushra is my approver, but I also have approval on this. So I'm going to send this through. So you see, it's approved. This is where the magic starts. So as soon as a request is approved, you automatically get a purchase order number. As you can see here, and that approval is where it triggers the synchronization with QuickBooks. So that's where our expert team is putting a bit of coding to enable the algorithm to push something from our side to QuickBooks. So if we were to go to QuickBooks, and let's just remember this number. So it's 5054. So let's go into QuickBooks, and then we're going to refresh our QuickBooks. Can you see that here? 5054. That's the integration already done, and it's already pushed it across to QuickBooks. So if I was to click into that, you'll be able to see, okay, this is the purchase order. It's already done for you. It shows you the exact amount, just the same way it would show you the exact amount right here. So you can tell and confirm, yeah, the integration is working well. So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually filter and actually see what all my bills are. So it's not been set up just yet because I haven't actually got the trigger yet for that. So now I'm happy with my purchase order. I can click send to my supplier. My supplier can automatically upload the invoice in here for me. But in the scenario, let's say in this scenario, my supplier didn't upload the invoice in here, they just sent me an invoice. So what I'll do is just upload the invoice myself. So go to upload, put the right date. I'm happy with this. And I'm going to put invoice number. So I'm going to say 31. Why not? And then I'll just choose a file. There we go. This is my invoice. And then I will save this. Once I save this, it creates a screen like this for me. So I can say, okay, this is my invoice here. I can actually expand this so I can see, okay, in regards to my purchase order that's been approved and the invoice received, these are the items I requested for. Does it match up? If it matches up and you click approve, that's where another nice bit of magic takes place, where our system pushes this information into the QuickBooks for you. So it says here, ready to pay. If I was to go into the purchase order now and leave this there, it says invoices received. If you go into this, it shows it's been approved. So we leave it like this. And we can, if we go into QuickBooks to check this out, let me just refresh this again. You can see it right here with now I'm looking at it from a bills perspective. So you can see it right here. The invoice number, the 31 that we just created 2 seconds ago, it's already here. So if I was to click on that, it shows it here and it enables you to make a payment straight away. And you can also see really instinctively from the integration we've done, it's linked to the purchase order. So you can see this is the purchase order is linked to and the amount is there. So you know, okay, if I'm making this payment, the amount is correct that I'll be making the payment for. And you can see it's got the right accounts or category in this case. If I was to click make the payment and I save it and close, so it lets me know that bill payment has been saved and paid. So if I was to come in here now and I refresh my screen, you see it's automatically updated. So that's where the magic and the trigger happens there. So there you go. It's approved and paid. So automatically it's done that for you. It gives you the detail of the payment. And also you see the invoice is now settled because it's the exact amount that was paid. So that's doing it from one perspective. There's also another way, because I know we mentioned a little bit, it's a two-way sync. So both sides speak to each other. So QuickBooks speak to Procurement Express and Procurement Express speak with QuickBooks. So we're going to do another purchase order and show you from a different perspective. So I'm going to go back in here, new purchase request, select the department again. Let's look for a different person. I don't know, anyone, it's cool. Again, select the budget I want to work with, put in a description, copy paper again, put my unit price, 10, add another line item. I'll just say, what do I want? I want a desk again, and put 200. So I'm happy with this. And then I can send it off to get approved again. It's automatically approved. So again, it's going to be pushed across to QuickBooks. Let's just make sure we look at the number. So it's 5055, just to confirm it's the right one. If I was to go in here, and I just want to filter by, let's just say all transactions, actually. Let's apply that. Okay, so that's it right there. It's already available for you to see. So click into it, it opens it up for you. So you can see the exact amount there. And let's say what I want to do now is actually, I want to copy this to a bill. So I have this as a bill, and I want to actually upload my invoice here. So I just upload the invoice in here. Cool, it's done. I'm going to save and close. So you can see that it's done on this side, it's saved there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to refresh my page here. And can you see how it's updated to say invoice has been received? That's because again, I like to call it the magic because it really is magical. It's done in the background because there's a two-way communication there. It's done in the background. So it shows your invoice is received. So I can actually go down here and say invoices and see actually, well, the invoice actually is received. And if I clicked onto it, I can actually see the document that was attached to it. If I go back and I wanted to open the invoice, I'll just click on the invoice. I can actually see the invoice in the preview there. I can see the line items. And more interestingly for me, actually, you can actually see the audit trail. You can see the history of what's happened there. You can see it's a QuickBooks automation. You can see the attachment. You can see every detail about it, and you can actually expand your PO as well and see all the good stuff associated with it. So again, it's ready to pay. So what I could do is just go back to my QuickBooks and I can click on it again, open it up, and it's linked. Can you see how it says it's linked to a bill? Click onto the bill and you can make the payment. Save and close this. And it should be saved there. And if I go back to my QuickBooks and I refresh this again now, can you see it's settled now? It's automatically updated for you as settled. So that's the amazing update that we've had there for you. So you see the two-way communication takes place, the synchronization is instant, and you see the triggers. The triggers for the magic to happen in the background is, so when you create a purchase request, as soon as the purchase request is approved, the magic takes place and it's pushed across to QuickBooks. Similarly, once you import or upload the invoice against the purchase order, once you review and approve that, again, it triggers the integration and the magic happens again for you in the background. So yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Benny. If you could unshare your screen, that'd be great. Yeah, perfect. And you can see me in all my glory. Thanks everyone for attending. That's it for the webinar, but I'd like to invite people to ask any questions that they have. We're available for questions. We can answer questions now, and we'll do some of them now. But if there are any questions afterwards, feel free to email support@procurementexpress.com. You can also ask for support through the online chat, and someone will be there to answer your questions. If you haven't already got QuickBooks connected and you want to help, you want to get QuickBooks connected, then please feel free to ask us to help you do that, and we'll help you do that as well. But if you have questions, then feel free to ask now.
Let me ask a question. Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this feature already rolled out, or is it, when's the rollout date? Is it already in production?
It will be rolled out next week.
Next week, okay.
It's been sitting in beta for the last couple of weeks with some of our customers who've been trying it out and giving us really great feedback, in which the guys have been working very hard to work with that feedback. So yeah, next week is the... Great.
The other question I had, I thank you for, appreciate you showing both versions from Procurement Express and from QuickBooks. But we kind of have a kind of different scenario in that we do not pay the bills out of QuickBooks. We'll have a third solution that we use. And right now, Procurement Express speaks to QuickBooks and other party does. So if we uploaded the invoice we use bill, and if that pulls into QuickBooks, does that integrate as well into Procurement Express the way you've shown it? or do we have to have the invoices uploaded into QuickBooks for this to work, or payment out of QuickBooks for this to work? Does that make sense?
I think with bill.com, your invoices are coming from bill.com, right?
The invoices
they're in
go from
bill.com.
bill.com and it will create a bill in QuickBooks.
Yes.
Okay. Today, no, we don't have a link between the two.
Okay.
So actually, we had exactly the same issue, and we were looking into this with the beta. And what worked for us is if the bill comes through bill.com, it can be linked in QuickBooks with the specific purchase order. And in this case, it will then also update the payment status in Procurement Express. It's not an ideal solution, but it works to just link the bill. So you basically have it both linked in QuickBooks. So you get the information from PE into QuickBooks and also from the bill.com system into QuickBooks, and then you just link it there and will update everything. It's not ideal, but it worked for us.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, Alexander. I was wondering about that
Appreciate-
test, actually.
Appreciate that answer.
Thank you. We'll try that. That makes sense. That's what I was hoping, because it will save us a couple of steps. So thank you.
Great. Someone has a hand up there. I can't see who it is. Can anybody tell me whose hand is up? Ah, it's Robert. Robert.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Robert.
Are you guys going to share this webinar?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I was kind of late. I literally wanted to, but I saw the latter part looks very exciting. So I'm going to just wait for the video to look at the excitement that you guys have added to this software.
Right. Yeah. Rob will be sending the video around to everybody once it's been saved correctly and so on.
All right, great.
Perfect. All right. Well, I don't think there are any other questions. So if there are no other questions, we'll leave it there. Really appreciate everybody who's attended. I know everybody's busy, and it's really nice to see people take 15, 20 minutes out of their day just to look at a little feature that we've developed, even though we're so excited about it. So really appreciate you coming. And like I said before, if you have any further questions or you need help from any of our team, then please feel free to reach out.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.